Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Xbox Life episode 384. Thank you, Xbox 360. I am one of your hosts, Brun BJ Swick 33. Along with me, your head was cut off there for a second because the comment went open. Is Rob, also known as Presar.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hello, hello.
So well, let's. I don't like to start off a show with bad news, but the bad news is Mr. Wingman 79 is not with us this week. He will hopefully
He's with
return. He's
us.
with us, yeah.
Don't, because that could be
Sorry.
misconstrued.
He's not on the show this week. He's not
Yes.
recording with us, but he should be back. I think next week. I don't think he has 2 weeks. I think it's just one. So we missed last week, but we're here. Last week, my fault. We were down Rob last week, and then I had a last minute thing where I had to take off out of town. So, yeah, so we had to skip, and we're here this week. Um, and Mark says he will be back next week because he is in the chat, everybody. So you can at least hang out with him there. Just you know, we'll say things about him, and then he'll type stuff back, and we'll just read what we want. We'll just read what we want. If we don't ban him, which is kind of funny. Didn't ban him for that. So, all right. Hello, Carbide. How you doing? So this week we have an interesting show. We got some things to talk about. Um, we've definitely played some games over the last couple weeks, and we have some giveaways. We have Fallout 4, Chrysler. What was that? Rocket 69 Sport for Forza 4 from Fading Lee, and we got two Windows 10 versions of Quantum Break to give away from Fading Lee and Monkey Punch 77. So thanks, guys. We appreciate it. We're going to give those away throughout the show. But before we get there, we record every Sunday when we're available, which is more Sundays than not. Let's put it that way. Um, at 10 p.m. Eastern, and we stream live on Twitch, and then the following day we release on MP3. So let's get to it. If you don't mind, Rob, I would like to go first on what we've been playing
Why,
because
Brun? Please do.
okay, because
Go
you
ahead.
you played something that I would like you to discuss and talk about.
Really?
Where yeah, my stuff is really not that big of a deal.
Okay.
So I played more Division. I think I'm like my level of equipment's like 184 now. Finally got some my striker mask and stuff. I played more Paragon. I played some Heroes of the Storm, and I got my Tracer. I've been playing with Tracer today, which is the new character that just opened up from Overwatch. Played some Battlefield 4. They had for the first time ever quadruple XP, which was awesome because I went from like 78, I think, to 102 or something like that. So on both PC and Xbox One, I'm at least over 100, which is nice. Played some Prison of Elders and Destiny, and I got one character up to 313 and another up to like 280 something. And then I was going to discuss this last week on the show before I had to take off. I played both the Battleborn beta and the
Okay.
Overwatch. I was in a closed Overwatch beta. Um, I'm not going to talk about the Overwatch because it was closed, but I would like to discuss Battleborn and this weird comparison because after playing Battleborn, I have some things to say about
Sure.
it.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll talk about my thoughts during the roundtable stuff, so we
Okay.
can get into yours. But that's pretty much what I've been playing the last couple weeks. So what do you got?
Yeah, I got code to get into the Mirror's Edge Catalyst
Which you
closed beta.
and you hate Mirror's Edge, of course. So
Oh, I hate it so much that I love it.
yes,
So I was pretty excited to get into it. And so wait, what's the deal? So closed betas you can't talk about?
It depends on all
Is
the
that how it goes?
verbiage for everything that you agree with, but usually, typically for a
Yeah,
closed beta, I don't. There's streaming the game for Overwatch and
yeah,
stuff like that, but I I don't know. I didn't read the fine detail on it, so I'm just
right.
not going to talk about the gameplay or anything. The open beta starts like next week, anyways, so people will find out then.
Okay.
So.
Well, all right. So let's see what I'll err on the side of caution then about what I talk about. But for what was in it, it was basically the original taken to the next level with better graphics, better everything, and it's quite interesting. I'm actually really looking forward to the full release when it comes out now in June because it was delayed, I think, by 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. Because originally supposed to be out in May, now it's out in June,
Right.
and I'm fine with that personally. I'd rather have them delay the game slightly and come out with a good title versus something that we have to suffer through for 2 weeks while they fix it. But it's basically all the stuff that I loved in Mirror's Edge, made new for the Xbox One. And playing the new one, you can definitely see differences. Like the 2016 technology and graphics, they shine through. So I'm very pumped about the title.
And it's an open. This one's open world. This one's not as streamlined as the first one, correct?
Yeah, the first one was very much, what's that term where you're kind of forced to go through a particular area?
Linear.
Yeah, linear. So
Mm-hmm.
it's got a start and a finish. Now it's more open, and it even tells you that, well, like in even in the original, it would give you clues as to where to go next. So everything would be red, for example, red doors, red railings, red. Um, Everything was red that you red
Right.
wires that you had to zip down. So you know you basically knew where to follow. And the new one actually has well, it's got all of that plus this thing called a runner vision where it kind of gives you a path to follow, but it even tells you this is the path you can follow. It's not necessarily the best way to go. So you are technically free to come up with your own ways to get to places.
Gotcha.
So very, very cool. Very cool. Very looking forward to it a whole lot. Then outside of that, I did get some time in with a board game that got converted to PC and Mac called Twilight Struggle. It's out on Steam now. Uh, definitely cool game. It was on the number one ranking for years in terms of board games. So they're going to be coming out with, I think, iPad and Android in the near future, but right now it's out for PC and Mac on Steam. And also been doing some more of my Clash Royale.
Okay.
That's about it.
Very cool. I think I got my camera just one time too low on the thing there. I'm blocking the pop up. So, it's had a new follower, JP King 83. Thank you for following. Appreciate it. All right. So, well, let me ask you a couple questions about Mirror's Edge. So, a lot of stuff I've read some of this on the internet, so it's not like you're breaking any rules or anything. Um, would you say it's more Mirror's Edge? I mean, it's a continuation of Mirror's Edge. I mean, I saw some gameplay. It looks really good.
It
Looks
is.
fluid. We were just discussing something before the show started. People were like doing the frames per second FPS capturing. For a majority of the part, it's like 60 frames a second. Obviously, they're doing a beta. I saw it. They were showing the frames on the thing there, and it was dipping like between like 54, 56, and 60 frames. So, okay, we're gonna call it 60 frames because For anybody that's missing those,
60-ish.
if you're gonna miss those, 4 frames, then you're awesome eyesight, I guess. But it looked like it was, up at that 60 frames per second, which it made it look really good. So, but
Mhm.
more
Yeah.
Mirror's Edge, and you're happy with it. So,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's a continuation of the storyline where Faith comes out of prison or some kind of detention, and she gets released. I think it's set possibly almost 2 years after the first one.
okay, all right,
So, would that be considered a sequel?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
not a prequel.
No, that's a sequel.
Yes.
All right, very cool. Is that all? Is that all you were doing last couple weeks?
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, and of course, like I said, Mark is not recording with us this week. So we're gonna hit the round table. Before we do that, I always like to throw out there to multiple ways to support the show. Which one of them is patreon.com / this Xbox Life if you'd like to become a patron, or you can go to twitchalerts.com / donate / this Xbox Life to give us a little donation. And everything's right below us as well. Links to everything. So, like I said, we had a couple giveaways. We'll do one of them right now. This one here is for the Chrysler Rocket 69 Sport vehicle and Forza 4. And this was Fading Lee, one of our members, sent this to us and said, "Hey, you can either have this or give it away on the show." So we're going to give it away on the show. So anybody who has Forza 4 that does not have this car, feel free to download it. So it is GTFFH XXP9G KDH3D FD72X X3PJZ. So 5x5s. Gotta love those 25 characters. They do not make it easy. So, oh, sorry, Forza 6, not Forza 4. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind. Fallout 4, Forza 6. Thank you, Wayne. I'm gonna hear about that, aren't I, Rob? Run screwed up.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
You knew it was coming.
Oh, he's never gonna let me live that one down. Definitely after you guys are ganging up on me and the emails back and forth. I was just reading them.
Yeah.
So Forza 6. So, all right. So, oh, see, look, he's already in the chat busting me for it.
Oh, he's probably got a big old grin on his face.
He does.
Ooh.
So.
Got him.
All right, some topics and roundtable for today that we have. One of my favorite games on the Xbox One and on PC, if you want to say, is Rocket League. Small game, very addictive, addicting, I should say.
Both.
But yeah, people in our community play it. We play it for our FNLs. It's awesome. I love it. So good. They came out with a hockey version, which was fun. And then we've seen pictures of the basketball. So NBA Hoops or Hoops version, Hoops mode, with NBA DLC is coming on the 26th. So it's coming out. It's Tuesday, correct? I believe that is Tuesday. So yeah, on Tuesday we are going to see some more Rocket League in a little special version. So it's going to be fun. I like playing goalie in Rocket League, and I don't know if I'm going to enjoy playing goalie on this one because it might be very difficult. But
So you just hang out in front of the goal the entire time?
me?
Yeah.
It depends. Depends if we're how far we're up or not.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
when you're playing ranked, and you got teams, people cycle through. Like we have a couple. Like I play mostly with people in the community, and it's just fun, and we all get each other because we play games together all the time, and Like we'll cycle through and we'll call out, I'm defending, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then as somebody's going out and say the goalie's going out to the corner to knock it down, so one of us will zip behind the other way and fill their spot. I mean, it's we do really well, and
Wow.
it's fun. So definitely, we got some good people in our community at
You got
Rocket
some
League.
skills.
Oh yeah, definitely. So hoops would be fun. I will not be available for FNL this week, but I would say might be a good FNL to do some Rocket League hoops. So, um, but yeah. So I think that's all for that one. Um, are you think you're gonna try it out?
Um, I don't know. I like Rocket League, but I don't love it. I enjoy playing it, but it's not something that I'm actively wanting to play. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. Not with Rocket League. No, I
It's a
understand. I understand
Yeah,
what you're
it's
saying.
a good game. It just I don't know. I'm kind of over it.
All right, so okay, on to the next thing here. Borderlands. You like Borderlands. I like
Oh,
Borderlands.
love it.
Wing is a fan of Borderlands. I guess in the upcoming Battleborn DLC, there's going to be Easter eggs for Borderlands 3.
Nice.
I'm not sure what they are. I didn't really read into the article because it mentions it's in the DLC. Because I think there's like 5 DLC packs coming um, with the season pass, if you want to say.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
So we'll have to kind of wait and see what that is. But we should be hearing some stuff about Borderlands 3. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see it during E3 this year. So.
How far out is that? Is that still like second week of June?
Well, here, put it this way. I heard on a podcast is like this time, 2 months from now, E3 will be over. So I think it's like in the middle of it's in the middle of June this year. Um,
Let me see.
yeah, that's while you're doing that, I'll go on to the next thing because Battleborn is kind of what I wanted to talk about next, and that's one of those things I was is playing the beta with everybody else, and I had fun. I liked it. I think there was one character they really kind of may need to balance, and I think he is like this more like the soldier type. I played against one guy. The guy had like 26 kills, which is not the easiest thing to do. I mean, I had 9 or 10 one round, but this, like 26 is insane, and you couldn't kill him. I was playing the tank character, and he was just I couldn't run away fast enough. He was just killing people so fast. So maybe when they fix that, and then that's kind of what the beta was for. I think was for things like that. But the game was fun. It is, in my mind, a first person MOBA. With MOBA like, let's say, in there. I've mentioned I've been playing Paragon, which is Epic Games. That is a third person, like true MOBA, third person MOBA. And
Right.
this game resembles a lot like that. I mean, it has the different paths that you go and you rank up each round and things like that. So it was definitely fun. It had the look of Borderlands. It's just, to me, it was one of those things where uh, throughout the last couple months, you've always heard Battleborn and Overwatch. Like they were always compared to each other,
Right.
right? I don't see the comparison. Um, I know maybe people were comparing it before they were really playing Battleborn because I know Battleborn was kind of quiet for a while, where Overwatch has always kind of been out there. Because like Overwatch to me is like a first person team based, um, like objective, like do this objective, right? It's not a first person MOBA. Um, it's like escort this vehicle or move this vehicle or capture these 2 areas. So after playing Battleborn, I was just like, man, I don't see the comparison. These are two different games. Like people can go buy both of these games and get a different experience. They are not competing in my mind. Do not compete with each other. So I know, beforehand and stuff like that, before I knew a lot more, it was just like all that's all I kind of heard was Overwatch, Overwatch. Oh, it's going to just beat up on Battleborn, but really, to me, I can't see that. They are two different things. You're going to get a different experience for both. So anybody that was out there that's heard the same thing, and or me, I've maybe even echoed it a couple times based on what I've heard, as far as Overwatch and Battleborn. Dude, go try it. I mean, I know the beta's kind of over for Battleborn. Hopefully, you played it. And the Overwatch beta is coming next Tuesday. Um, so you'll see what I mean. You'll definitely, hopefully, you'll see what I mean. And if you have any uh, different takes on it, like let us know. Like maybe I'm crazy, but um, I know that Wing ended up buying Battleborn. I believe he put his thoughts and stuff in the Facebook group, and maybe next week he can talk about it a little bit more. Me personally, I've pre-ordered Overwatch on PC and Xbox One, so I actually bought the game twice because
Oh
I
wow.
I love that game. I love that game. I am going to play so much Overwatch. It's going to be insane. Um, to me, it's got that hook into me like Battlefield. And really, it's just like I'm just like, oh man, I played the Division, but it's gonna be like, let me go run the dailies in the Division. Okay, time for Overwatch. So, um, but yeah, they're two different games. Like, don't pick one without looking into the other. Thinking that you have to choose between those two because they can live separate lives. If you want to say you're gonna get a different experience. So
I mean, can people really put in the time to play both of them?
sure.
Plus, I know the release time frame isn't quite the same, but Gigantic is another one that's coming out. Don't you almost need to choose one and kind of stick with it, or are you just gonna maybe pick up all of them and then find which one best suits you and then do that one?
Um, I mean you rank up in them.
Right.
Like you rank up your characters and stuff. But when you're ranking up characters, you're ranking up characters to get like skins and stuff. Because each round, like there is no ranking up for an Overwatch. It's like you pick your character. If you want a different weapon or you want to do this or have this different skill or whatever, you pick a different hero. And you can change your
Right.
heroes throughout in the same round. Where in Battleborn, you pick your hero at the beginning and you have a ranking system. So like you'll rank up and then you'll get to choose your left side or right, like pick your different skill that you want to do, which
Okay.
is MOBA like, which is very MOBA like.
Right.
Um, so I mean, I could see where it's like you don't have to like focus so hard. I mean, yeah, you want to learn the characters and things like that, but I don't see it to where it's not like one day you could play Overwatch and the other day play Battleborn, or play 4 or 5 rounds of one or play an hour of one and go play an hour of the other. I mean, it's really you're going to get two different experiences. You're not going to feel like you're wasting your time. Like, oh, I have to be in this game all of the time. It's not like Battlefield versus Call of Duty.
Hmm.
They're both first person shooters. You have to rank up in both of them to unlock weapons and slots and perks and this and that. Like where if I was playing Battlefield, I wasn't ranking up in Call of Duty. And if I'm playing Call of Duty, I'm not ranking up in Battlefield. It's not like that. It's just like
Okay.
it's just like, oh, I'm gonna play an hour or two here and I'm gonna play an hour or two here. Oh look, I played both games. Because of the non-ranking type thing. If that helps and kind of answers your question.
Well, I was kind of thinking it along the lines of some of these like mobile games, like Clash of Clans and all those other clones of it.
Mm-hmm.
unless somebody's really hooked into that stuff, you pretty much got to pick one. It's almost like you
Right.
got to pick one and stick with it. Maybe you can do two,
Hmm.
but some of these games are such a huge time sink
Yeah.
that it almost makes it impossible, maybe even on purpose,
Yeah.
makes it impossible to play something else.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing that I've been trying to do over the last month or so, like I was hardcore in the division for the first
Hmm.
last couple weeks,
Right.
um, but I'm really into like almost like I want to split my days up. Like today, I played Heroes of the Storm. I mean,
Schedule.
almost like schedule, like yeah, like that.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for Overwatch to come out, but I think I might have to make a point to um, play some Battleborn. And really, the reason why I like Overwatch, for example, the reason why I got it on two consoles. Now that I mean, there is more of a problem, I guess, with that than there is with owning Battleborn and Overwatch. Is having
Okay.
Overwatch on both systems, but like I said, since there's not that ranking part, it was just like it doesn't matter where I play the game at. Yes, I bought it in both places, but I have people that play here and I got friends that play here. Like Overwatch and Battleborn are going to be great FNL games. It's going to be
Sure.
fun
Right.
to be able to pick and do a private match and play against your friends, and you're all in a party and you're all screaming at each other because so and so did that one special that knocked out two people. I mean, it's going they're going to be fun games for that. So, but that's the one thing I wanted to talk about because I was going to talk about it last week was this Battleborn Overwatch thing. They are two different things, and I hope when people go out there and try who've played Battleborn and try Overwatch when the beta comes out, you guys will definitely hopefully see what I'm saying. Um, but yeah,
Okay.
that's right. Um, Next thing, Rainbow Six Siege. I know we have a lot of Siege people, and it's kind of one of those things. DLC comes out, and you kind of go back to a game for a little bit. The last DLC update brought the two Canadian characters. Um, it was for I forget what their names were. I haven't played for a while. Was one of them Frost and something like that?
A.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
Frost. A.
yeah. The next DLC is named Operation Dustline, and the two characters are Valkyrie and Blackbeard. Now Valkyrie is going to be the defensive player, and Blackbeard is going to be the attacker. I didn't go into looking into like what their specials are. Um, I don't know if the article I was looking at actually had that detailed information, but look for it to be coming sometime soon. Um, and so more Rainbow Six Siege for that. Now, Siege, I know a lot of people are playing Siege, but I think their DLC needs to come a little bit quicker. I don't know if that game's going to be able to hang in much, you know, that long with, a month or two between each DLC, but that's my opinion. I've kind of fallen out of it myself, just with all the other games coming out. And with more shooters coming out and and all that stuff and these different games coming, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. The next one, what do you think? So we mentioned this a couple weeks ago. What?
Okay.
What are you laughing about?
Nah, I think I know where you're going with this.
Well, we talked a couple weeks ago about uh, Division punishing the people who exploited
Sure.
their stuff. Now, I'm a developer, and I'm kind of in this weird spot, like can you punish people for doing or taking advantage of the bugs that you have in your game? Um, I guess you could. Is it good practice to? I guess if it's ruining the game, in my mind. Um,
Or how would they phrase that? The spirit of the game.
yeah, yeah, but I mean, it's like you get these people that would maybe glitch it 1,000 times and get all the best gear, and then they just run around and you know, ruin everybody's fun in the dark zone because they're unstoppable because they're at the highest rank and stuff like
Hmm.
that. I guess you as a developer or whatever to say, yes, we know this bug's out there. We're going to fix it. Don't do it, or we're going to punish you. And you could have the argument of, well, why are you going to punish us for taking advantage of this exploit? Of your mistake, which I can understand. But then I could also understand them saying, "Hey, we're going to punish you for doing this, so don't do it. And if you then go continue to do it and then have your character wiped out, then you can't really say much because they told you they were going to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So I kind of see it in that way too. Um, that's kind of leading it like the division is what I'm talking about. They've had bugs here and there, but it
Couple,
seems
two, three.
but it seems like every time they fix one, they're putting in one or two more. And I understand that happens. As a developer, I've done that. I mean, I've fixed things which open up bugs in other places.
Sure.
Even with regression testing. I mean, if you don't, do you know what a regression test is?
Isn't that where you go back
Yeah. So,
with the versions or something?
well, so like, say I have an application that does 10 things. I'll
Yeah.
have a test that tests all 10 things, and I won't release until all my tests pass for testing those 10 things. And then if I put in an 11th thing, I write a test for the 11th thing. I test the 11th thing, but guess what? I go back and test 1 through 10 because the 11th thing may break the fourth thing. And then my test
Right.
will fail, and then I'll know how to fix that. And then I fix that, and I run all the tests again, 1 through 11. Oh, it broke the seventh thing. So you'll do those until you get clear tests. Now, even when you do that, there's still these bugs. But I'm telling you what, man, these guys, I think it's massive, right? That's who the developers were um, for the division. They are just chasing themselves. It's crazy. Every time they put something in, it's like five more things show up. Like the double revive glitch and then the switching weapons roll. Switching weapons like would compound your damage to where like you were just doing this unreal amount of damage. Um, but you know, I just kind of wanted to say like if the bugs are there, it's really kind of up to you, I guess, to decide if you want to take advantage of them or not. If it's like single player, so here's my thought. If it's single player and you're playing the incursion and you do the double revive glitch, which is fixed already. Both those last two bugs are fixed. Um, if you were doing the double revive, that's not hurting anybody. That's not causing any problems. Um, so to me, I'm just like, our luck. We can use this
Right.
and not die as often. Um, but if it's something where you're glitching the incursion and you have every high end piece of gear or every set piece of gear now, and you're taking that gear and going and just being a troll in the DZ, then, shame on you. If you did the glitch and just had all the gear and just was normal, played normal, like I don't run out to kill people in the DZ.
Okay.
Then I know that doesn't bother me, but if you're doing it just to troll, that's the part where it's like, their punishment to me is a welcome punishment. But
Right.
unfortunately, I don't know if they're going to be able to identify people that's like, oh look, they ran the incursion 100 times. It took them an average of 5 minutes to complete them. We know they took part in the glitch. Oh, and look, they went and they killed. They went rogue. 5,000 times and had 5,000 kills. And they weren't killed once. Like to me, I was like, punish them because you know
Yeah.
why they did it. You know
Oh yeah.
exactly why they
Yeah.
did it. Um, but if they did your little glitch one or two, maybe three times, and they got gear, you don't punish them. That's just silly. That's your fault for putting it there. And yeah, you said you're going to wipe people out. Wipe the people out that did it 5,000 times. Don't wipe the people out that did it once or twice. Um, that's kind of where I was like saying it's like I'm kind of torn between what to do or what to not. But all I can say is if you went and did it after they said they were going to punish, and they end up wiping out your character or whatever, there's really nothing you can say. I mean, you can argue that I just took advantage of the what they gave me. Um, but if it was done 100 times after they told you they're going to wipe out your character, you're kind of just asking for it. So
Right. It's violating the rules of the universe,
yeah,
basically by going and doing those things. Really, right?
yeah. But
At
hopefully they
least
can
the
get
game universe.
hopefully they can get these bugs all fixed and wrapped up. Because look at Destiny. I mean the Crota raid. I didn't do the Crota raid one time the way it was meant to be played.
Was
Out
that
of all
some
the
kind of
times I did it,
cave or something?
there was like a part where you had to cross a bridge and you
Oh,
could like do this part where one person gets across and then you all kill everybody and then if everybody just jumped off and killed themselves, all the enemies would disappear and things like that. So I mean, I did that. Every group I was with, we did that. Now Bungie didn't come and do anything, but they also didn't fix it. So,
right.
but
'Cause it could also depend on how severe it is in terms of abuse.
yeah, yeah, yeah. In this one here, I don't think people in our group are abusing it. I mean, even if you did it 1 or 2 times, that's what I was saying. It's like so what? But the people that are going through and just they're ruining the game. The DZ was already hard enough as it was, and now you got these people running through with the highest end gear. There's just no way you can stop them. And the other thing that they need to do is like in the dark zone. You've played Division? Obviously, you know what the dark zone is.
Yeah. Hmm.
They had these levels, and levels were by rank. And you had this 30 plus, and then they put in this gear level. So it's like, oh, here's 90 to 101, here's 101 to 115. Like these different levels, and then they have a 160 plus. You need to put in more after 160 or 161. I forget if it's 161 or not. Because I'm a 184 and there's 200s and 215s or whatever running down and killing these 160s. These guys don't have a chance. I don't care if there's four. One of them could wipe out a group of 4 160s. So you need to put in these other groups to where, myself 180 cannot go and beat up on these 160s. They need to put in more things like that. I think that would help with those people that, you know, if you want to punish them, punish them. If you want to wipe out their character, wipe out their character. To me, I would say, for one, fix it. Don't wipe out their character, but just make it to where they beat up on each other. Like, hey, if they want to put on all the pieces of gear and they wanted to be 220 or whatever the highest rank is, 240, they want to be 240, well, guess what? You're going to be in the same DZ with all the other 240 guys that did the glitching or maybe did it legitimately or whatever. And you can just deal with them. While, my friends and I, who are all between, 165 and 190 or 200, I think Wing's 200, we can go play with our guys and have some sort of chance. It's just they're making it really hard on the lower end guys. So,
Right.
but one division thing I wanted to say. I was playing with Mark and who else was there? Artemis was there, and we had a random with us. And he's my friend on Xbox now. Let me get you his name
The
because
random.
the random, yeah.
Okay.
Because and sometimes you find really nice people, the
Oh
randoms.
yeah.
I found two groups now. They were super nice and they invited me instead of killing me, which was always
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Um, trying to figure out his name was. If Mark was here, he'd probably remember what it was. Hudson Hawk. I knew it was Hawk. Hudson Hawk. It was great because, and I didn't get my Xbox to record it because I forgot. But Wing and I were there, and Hudson. We just killed these guys. I don't know where Artemis was at the time, but Mark and I were starting to kind of run toward Hudson Hawk, and this guy runs around the corner, and Wing is a 200, and I'm a 176. This guy takes down Mark like real quick. And Mark's like, "Oh my gosh, what just happened? This guy just nailed me." And I turn around and the guy went rogue, so I just start shooting at him, doing hardly anything to him. And he knocks me down. So Mark and I are standing there on the ground and he's running up to us. This guy's running up to us to hit us and kill us. Hudson Hawk had the power perk, where he would revive any downed teammates. That guy is running up to us. He's running back toward Hudson Hawk's is running back toward us. This enemy's running toward us. Hudson Hawk gets within range and pops his power. Both Mark and I pop up off the ground right where this guy's coming up to hit us, and we just plaster the guy
Nice.
and knock him down. We knock him down on the ground. I walk up and was like, whack, and just hit him. I was like, that's what you get. And I was like, and the thing was, it was just, Hudson Hawk, a random guy we picked up playing dailies. I was like, you couldn't have timed that any better than what he did. I go, it was awesome. And then I was sitting there going, I was like, oh, I should have said, I should have told my Xbox to record that. That'd have been such a great clip.
And it would have been even better if you were singing "Swinging in a Star."
Why that?
That's from the movie Hudson Hawk.
Oh, okay. He liked the movie, and Artemis knew what movie it was. I haven't seen it.
It's decent.
So
Well, a lot of people don't like it, but it's a decent movie.
yeah.
Bruce Willis.
Okay. But yeah, it was such a perfect thing. It was great. It was the highlight of the day.
Oh yeah, that. Stories like that are awesome.
The guy ate it. It made me so happy. Because like
Yes.
he was obviously higher ranked than both of us if he took us both down that fast. But it just
Wow,
felt
yeah.
great. It just felt great when I popped up and I'm right next to him and I have my Vector, which does so much damage close up. So he's right next to me and all my reticle, like he was so close to me, all it was pointed right at his head. And I'm just pulling the trigger and he's like and just hits the ground. It was awesome.
Wow.
So good times. Makes me so happy.
What would have been? What would have happened from his point of view? He's like, "I'm coming back here." Oh, what happened?
Well, he didn't try to hunt us back down or anything.
Yeah.
But it was funny. It was like, he was just running around. He's like, "Oh, I'll take these guys down. There's two of them and one of me." And he knocks down Mark. So he's just like, "Oh, these guys are easy," And then all of a sudden he's taking a dirt nap, and there goes his gear and half his rank and a bunch of his credits, nice in my pocket. Thank you very much for the DZ credits. But
Yeah.
it was perfect. It was great. So, but,
Okay.
Yep.
Cool story.
Yeah. I had one more thing on here, but what was the other thing I mentioned that we might want to talk about? The
HBO.
Well, there was the HBO. Oh, so yeah, go ahead. You hit that real quick.
Yeah, for Xbox One, we've had HBO Go for quite some time, and now we have HBO Now.
Yep.
Now.
Yeah, now just in time for
no.
Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
which is on tonight, and Silicon Valley. If you guys don't watch that, and you like funny comedies, you should definitely check that out. Do you watch that?
I started. I think the first episode. I haven't seen any past that.
Oh, you need to watch that one. It's so good.
Okay.
It is really funny. So, but yeah, check that out. But yeah, HBO Now is the one where you can subscribe without a cable subscription.
Right.
So an HBO,
And it's streaming, right? Not like live watching.
I don't think you get live, but I do think you get. I think you can watch the stuff like the minute after it
Right.
Plays or something like that, where it's similar to HBO Go. They just made them two different apps, I
Hmm.
believe. So,
Sure.
but there was that, and then what do you think about? Let me ask you this: what do you think about the whole Neo? I know we're an Xbox podcast, but this could happen. We could be getting an updated Xbox One, mentioned at E3 as well. We don't know what's gonna happen. Um, but the whole rumors of Neo and stuff like that coming out. Um, what's your take on that? Because Neo doesn't seem like it's the normal upgrade stuff that we're used to with last console generation, where we got the smaller nano chips put into our Xbox Ones, larger, we got more hard drive space, but there was never really like, hey, we're slapping in more RAM, hey, we're slapping in a better graphics, hey, we're slapping in this or that, like, you know what I mean, between
Right. Right.
like having a refresh, like an Xbox 360.1.2. What Neo sounds like is, I don't even know why they're calling it an Xbox or a PlayStation 4. To me, this is like a PlayStation 5 type of upgrade. But what
Really?
do you think? What do you think about it?
Why do you say it's like a PlayStation 5?
Well, I know the rumors and stuff that came out were saying things like, "Oh, every game from October is going to have a Neo mode." So
Right.
each console is going to play both games, or each console has to play the same game. One may have
Right.
a Neo better graphics version, and they kind of saying like, but the Neo will never get like special treatment. You'll never get something special if you own a Neo. They'll never have a game on the Neo that's not on PlayStation 4.
Until they do.
And that's the thing, is like, I would like to
Yeah.
believe that, and to me if that was the case and that holds true, then I have a problem in my mind, which is, then why are they doing it? Because they're doing it for something. They're
Sure.
doing it for something, and I've heard it's for VR, where the VR headset has to have an external processor. But the Neo version, they may not have to have an external processor or something like
Okay.
that. But to think, it's hard to trust a company sometimes. It's hard to trust Microsoft when they say things, and it's hard to trust Sony when they say things. Now, personally, in my experience, if you go back and you start tracking things that have been promised and never delivered, or over promised and under delivered, or just flat out lied about, I think Sony's record is a lot higher up on doing those things than Microsoft. Now, Microsoft's no saint, okay? I'm not defending Microsoft, but I'm to me personally, Sony's kind of put this thing in my head over the last couple of console generations, where they'll say things like at E3, and they'll do things at E3, and they just never deliver on them. Or they just do a complete 180 and do the
Hmm.
opposite. So I have trouble thinking that they're putting this whole new console out, which blows away its predecessor or its current.
Well, we don't know that.
Well, based on the stats and stuff that they were talking about, that by a source released information,
Right.
the graphics is 2 times as powerful. So, I mean, yes, it still has, the processor's going from like a 1.6 to a 2.1, the graphics doubling in processing power, and the RAM is still going to be 8 gigs of, uh, what is it, DDR5, um, or GDDR5, however they say it. Um, but like I said, the part I'm struggling with, if they're not going to have only, oh yeah, here's this new game, it's awesome, but it only works on the Neo, that type of scenario, they're saying it's never going to happen. My question is,
Until
why?
it does.
Until it does. Yeah, yeah, well, exactly, that's what I mean. That's the struggle I'm having, is I do not believe them when they say that. Like, I think it's going to happen. Um, but the thing, because if that doesn't happen, then my question is why are they even doing it? Because it's really got people mad. You know, they've sold what, almost 40 million PlayStation 4s? 40 million PlayStation 4s.
I think
And
I think I mentioned last show. It's like, how does Sony sell another 40 million? PS4 Neo.
yeah,
How do
well,
you double your sales?
yeah. I know I think I made the comment well, was it last show? Was it two show? Or was it our last show or whatever? But my thing is like if they do bring out this, they're going to have to show their sales numbers separate because if they turn around and be like, "Hey, the PlayStation 4 has sold 60 million." And they don't turn around and say 40 million was this one and 20 million is this one, they just group them all together, then to me that's just a way to make them look good. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? They're double
Yeah,
dipping at that point.
right.
Um, I think they have to separate them. They have to say we sold 40 million of these and 20 million of these, and you know if they discontinue, because in my mind, if they discontinue making the PlayStation 4 and they just bring out the Neo and that's the only one they're selling, and PlayStation 4 stops at 40 million, if Xbox One passes 40 million and where they're at, they lose the console generation. Because for them to continue selling, they actually made a new console, and I don't understand why it's not the PlayStation 5 in that case. Because of the changes. I mean, you're changing you're not making a smaller processor, same speed, making it smaller to save price and save heat and save space and making a PlayStation or an Xbox Slim. You're actually beefing the console. You're changing the insides. So to me, that's a new SKU. That's a new console in my mind. Same goes for Xbox. If Xbox did the same thing, that's a new console in my mind. Don't call it the Xbox One. Call it something else.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, I been reading. Some people aren't happy because I mean, you don't. A lot of people are saying, well, you don't have to buy it, but you don't have to buy it until, like you said, like I said, no game's ever going to come out and be Neo only, and like you said, until it happens. I think it's going to happen, and I think it'll happen this year. That's my thing. You know, if
Yeah.
all these things are coming out and all these rumors are coming out, there's going to be a Neo only game or a game that just doesn't work on the PlayStation unless you have the Neo is going to come out this year.
Oh wow.
And to me that is horrible for the consumer. That's really bad. And all I can say at that point is whoever feels really burnt on this one on their wonderful console that they paid for, you're more than welcome to come right over to our side and purchase yourself
Yeah.
an Xbox One. Because I'm not saying that you won't get the same crapped on in the same way, because it could happen. Um, but yeah, I would be very angry if that happened to me.
Yeah. The thing that I'm immediately thinking about is that you never had this kind of situation before. Like you had mentioned, you had consoles redone to be more cost efficient, where they change something in there just to make them cheaper or, parts reasons, etc. You never had a situation like this. And Sony is effectively testing the waters. I would think that all the other manufacturers, possibly Nintendo, if they matter, I don't know, but definitely Xbox, they're probably going to sit back and see what happens. If everything goes through okay or not horrible, I would not be surprised to see it happen with other consoles.
Right. I just think the next Xbox is going to be a new Xbox. To me personally, I think we're going to have a 5-year life cycle for Xbox One, and they're just going to move to the next one. Gunny Chief, hello Gunny Chief. He says when your friend friends play a game on the Neo and your PS4 can't run it.
Yeah.
Torches and pitchforks. Yeah. So I just it just seems weird. They are just killing it with the PlayStation 4. 40 million sold. They're killing it with the PlayStation 4 and they go make another one. There's just this part of me that sits back and thinks like they know something. And the thing that they know is there is something wrong with that PlayStation 4. I just have this feeling in the back of my mind. You know, like 3 red lights bad. Like something's going to happen. Like we're going to start to see like PlayStation 4 start to just glitch out and fail to
Oh
work.
yeah.
You know, and then the Neo is the replacement for that. But I also feel really weird that they bring out the PlayStation VR, which I have multiple friends that bought it, and I can't wait to try it. Going over to there, I'm gonna be bugging them to play it.
Can
You
move
know,
in.
yeah, yeah. So they all got PlayStation VRs. They all have PlayStation 4, and I just find it weird that they come out with this other console and they mention things like to help VR run better.
Hmm.
And I'm like, well, then why are you selling the VR to people who own a PlayStation 4 if you kind of know that they're going to be struggling with something? They just don't care. That's the only thing I can think of. They either something's wrong or they just don't care. And I know it's corporate, so who knows? They probably just don't care. I'm not saying Sony on that. I'm saying corporate in general. A lot of places like that, they don't care. You know, that's like a car and recalls. Sometimes you get a recall, sometimes you don't. They only care if it's going to cost them more money in lawsuits than it does to fix your car. You know what I mean? That's the rumor you always hear. But
Right.
yeah. But all right.
Interesting situation.
Yeah, I had to throw that out there. I mean, I know it's been a huge talk over the last week or so. And like I said, I know we're an Xbox podcast, but I find it interesting.
No,
As a person who doesn't own a PlayStation 4, hey, I can go get myself a Neo and I got the latest and greatest, PlayStation. And then I get to go look at all my friends. They're like, "Oh, that game doesn't run. Oh, it runs great for me."
yeah.
Maybe I did a good thing by holding out. But I'm not the one that feels like I'm getting crapped on.
Right, right.
But
Unlike your friends.
yeah, I feel really bad for them
Yeah.
because of the way they feel like that. So, but all right. The last thing that I have here is kind of this letter. The 360 has officially been terminated. Is this where
We knew it was coming.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. Oh, I mean, Xbox One's been out what going on 3 years. We're hitting 3
Two
years,
and a half.
2.5, 3 years. Um, and it's not like it's a bad thing that they're stop making the 360. It's been around for 10 years as of like last November, I think
Yeah.
it was. And that's the name of our show is Thank You Xbox 360. This letter was made or was put out by Phil Spencer, and I think we should probably go through it, to be honest, because go back and think about when you bought your first 360. That probably red ringed on you. But go back and think about that, and then think about the last 10 years of that console before you got your Xbox One, and about how much fun you had with it and stuff. I think it was really neat, kind of reading through this, and they kind of went over through some stuff. So I'll let you read some so you can talk.
Okay.
But yeah, I think we should go through this here. So.
Absolutely. So just read through it, start from the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So last November, we celebrated a major milestone as the Xbox 360 console turned 10 years old. The Xbox 360 helped redefine an entire generation of gaming at Microsoft. I am incredibly proud of all the work and dedication that went into development of the Xbox 360 hardware, services, and games portfolio over the last decade. And I'm grateful to the fans for their continued passion and support. Franchises like Gears of War were born on the 360, and established blockbusters like Halo really came into their own during this console generation. Xbox 360 was also the foundation for industry leading technical innovation like Kinect and the start of system updates and dashboard refreshes based on fan feedback. Thanks to the Xbox 360, we involved we evolved Xbox Live from the original Xbox into the thriving online gaming community that it is today. And the console became a beloved gaming and entertainment hub with over 78 billion gaming hours played, nearly 486 billion gamer score on 27 billion achievements, and over 25 billion hours spent in apps over its lifetime. That is just insane, isn't it, Bren?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I wanted. That's why I wanted to
Yeah.
read. It just shows how much.
Yeah, every one of those numbers is in the billions.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, continuing, from the original 0 hour launch event to the incredible reaction received last year at E3 when we announced that you could play your Xbox 360 games on Xbox One. The soul of Xbox 360 was about putting gamers at the center of every decision we make, and we apply this principle across our vision to stop manufacturing new Xbox 360 consoles. We will continue to sell existing inventory of Xbox 360 consoles with availability varying by country. We know that many of you became gamers on Xbox 360 and are still active. So it's important to us that while the overall Xbox gaming experience will evolve and grow, we will continue to support the platform you love in multiple ways. And so here he goes through 60 and are still active. So it's important to us that while the overall Xbox gaming experience will evolve and grow, we will continue to support the platform you love in multiple ways. And so here he goes through the different ways that they're going to do that. Now, one thing that they did mention real quick before I continue with this is I remember when the Xbox One came out, they said that they were going to support it for 2 more years. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
yep.
So they've actually gone beyond that, and this is really them not saying that they're going to stop support. They're just going to cease manufacturing, right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. So, all those millions of Xbox 360s out there are not going to be doorstops.
Nope.
All right. So here's what he continues to say here, the different ways. Xbox 360 owners will continue to receive Xbox Live services for their consoles, such as online multiplayer gaming and parties, access to the apps they use today, and games with gold and deals with gold. Xbox Live servers that support Xbox 360 services will also remain online and active. Our Xbox 360 fans can continue to play their favorite games with the full support of Xbox Live. Gamers will also be able to continue to buy over 4,000 Xbox 360 games or Xbox 360 accessories at retail and through our Xbox 360 store online while supplies last. That's the key word there. Any Xbox 360 hardware will still be supported at xbox.com support. And I guess also that would mean that they are going to be supporting warranties as well.
Yeah. Yep.
And Xbox One owners will be able to continue to enjoy available Xbox 360 games through Xbox One backwards compatibility at no additional cost. I want to personally thank the Xbox community. That includes the vast and diverse audience of gamers, developers, and publishers who brought so much passion and creativity to the Xbox 360. You are the heart of what we do at Team Xbox, and you have been critical to the success of Xbox 360. Over the next few weeks and months, we will be sharing more of our plans for gaming on Xbox One, Windows 10, and beyond. And as always, keep the feedback coming. Thank you, Phil Spencer.
Yep. So yes, I mean when you look at it, the big thing out of here, besides rattling off and saying how great it's been over the last 10 years, is essentially they're just not making any more 360s, but your support, your game, Xbox Live, and everything like that will still be there. And
Mm-hmm.
who knows how long for that? I mean, you know, the number of servers for Xbox Live on 360 was so small compared to Xbox One. Um,
Right.
but yeah, I couldn't believe the amount of hours and everything like that. But I go
Yeah.
back and think, is like, as much as I love my Xbox One, there's just that special place for the 360 because that was really the first console I had for like such a long time.
Yeah.
Because I went to PC there for for a long time, and yeah, when I got my 360, I was so excited to have one, and all the fun times. I mean, and the other thing they forgot the bullet point is like with the Xbox 360, it created a podcast called This Xbox Life. So
It did.
Phil forgot that. Maybe I'll have to tweet him. It's like, hey, read your letter. You forgot a bullet point that this Xbox Life was created because of the Xbox 360.
Two demerits.
Yeah, see what he says about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just so many. Go back and think about all the good games and all the FNLs and all the good times with friends and people in the community and lots of Battlefield.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, very cool. But yeah, just wanted to throw that in there as the last thing before we moved on to the community. But yeah, any favorite?
Let's see if Sony gets a letter out like this when they say that they're going to stop the regular PS4 and production,
Yeah,
and they're just going to continue with the Neo.
yeah.
Let's see if their guy does this letter.
Yeah, it'll go something like, "We like to thank you from the huge support we received at E3 when we announced our console was $100 cheaper, and everybody thought it was awesome because Microsoft screwed up in the way they presented their console and confused everybody, and how we only released 2 first-party games before bringing out the new one. Just basically, GFY."
Yeah.
We don't care. Can you just give us more money?
Yes.
So it could go something like that, right?
Or we're really concerned about everybody's feelings with this whole situation, so we have created a special site for you. And then following that is a link to the store to buy
To buy a new one.
a Neo.
Oh man, that's funny. But all right, very good.
Yeah.
I loved my 360.
Yeah.
All right, community time. cafepress.com/this Xbox Life. Speaking of something where we'll have to write a letter when we have it discontinued, and unless you guys are gonna fight me on it. So go out there, cafepress.com. You can okay, so FNL, like I mentioned, 429. We don't have a game yet. You can tweet us what game you'd like to play or put it in the Facebook group. I will not be available. So that kind of falls on Rob and Wing this week for FNL. But I will be back next week. So, or the week after, I should say. And before we get to the other thing, we have our first Quantum Break code. So, a Morales office is for Windows 10. So, have Windows 10. Hopefully, you have a PC that can run this game. If you have any questions about it, go check before you, take this code.
Yeah.
Because if you're
It's
going to take
Windows
the code
10,
and, yeah,
not 8.1,
not 8.1,
not XP.
kind of make sure you meet the minimum requirements to play the game because it would be a shame if you took the code and you couldn't play it.
Yeah.
And also, if you already own the game on your Xbox One, leave it for somebody that doesn't have it, because I think you had to pre-order or something to get this code. So, um,
Unless you're me,
yeah.
because then you pre-order it and you didn't get anything.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe I'll take the code.
No, don't do that. So the first code, this one here is from Monkey Punch 77. So thank you, Monkey Punch. Um, you know, you're awesome. So the code is 9 6 M R 2 F 2 W 4 6 R F F K X Q 2 Q V C H K F D Z. So that is our first code for Quantum Break Windows 10. If you take
And
it,
that reference to QVC is purely coincidental.
yeah,
We are not promoting
yeah,
them or anything.
yeah. So if you take it, all I ask is, thank Monkey Punch 77
Yeah.
in our group or whatever. Also, either in our Facebook group or on Twitter. Maybe Twitter might be the easiest thing for this. Just tweet at this Xbox Life. Let us know you took it. Let us know, hey, I took Monkey's Quantum Break code, and
Hmm.
so that we know the code's been used. Otherwise, Rob's going to have to test that the code's used, and when he tests it, and if it's not, that means he just used it. I mean, so, but all right. Make this part quick here. So voicemails, go to thisxboxlife.com, go off to the right for send voicemail, click it, follow the prompts, send us a voicemail, we'll play it in the show and answer it. Or you can go to the site and send us a message, which will come to us when we read it, and that is at thisxboxlife.com. I think under the contact, right, is where that one's at.
Yes. Yes.
It's a little form you can fill out. Or if you just want to use your Gmail or your favorite mail client, you can email us at contact at thisxboxlife.com. And we read those and do it. Our Twitter account is twitter.com/thisxboxlife to let us know if you took Monkey Punch 77's code. And then facebook.com/groups/thisxboxlife is our closed Facebook group, where we all meet and chat and have a good old time. Just put in a request. We just kind of vet you a little bit, make sure you don't have nasty stuff on your Facebook page, and let you in. So we didn't have anything this week. We had one email, but that's our other code, which I'll read here shortly. So, but what do we got this week? What's our games?
All right. So the retail releases for this week on Xbox One, we have a couple titles: Tales from the Borderlands, a Telltale game series, and I believe this is the whole thing, right?
I think so.
And yeah, it's all the chapters or episodes or whatever. Because this one I'm pretty sure concluded. Then there's King's Quest Chapter 3, Once Upon a Climb. And that one had four, right? Four episodes. So this is the third of four, I think. And then Party Hard on the 29th, we have Jump Jet Rex and Paranautical Activity. Xbox 360 has Tales from the Borderlands, a Telltale game series, and the King's Quest Chapter 3, Once Upon a Climb. Games with Gold continues from the other day. We had Sunset Overdrive, so that started on the 16th. When was that? That was, oh, yeah, that was last Saturday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we had that last show. So, Sunset Overdrive and Xbox 360. We currently have Saints Row 4. And don't forget, the 360 title is backwards compatible, so you can play it on Xbox One. Just make sure to grab it regardless. And now you can do it through the dashboard as well, or
Yep.
on the Xbox One dashboard. You don't have to do it from your 360 exclusively or through Xbox.com. So that's it for Games with Gold and the retail releases. If you're going to be making any purchases on Amazon, make sure to use our affiliate link. That really helps us out. It doesn't cost you anything extra. Each and every time you make your purchases, go to this xboxlife.com and click on the Amazon link there. Make sure to do that each and every time. And we get a teeny tiny itty bitty finder's fee for sending you their way. And puts a little cookie on your machine that does not persist past 24 hours. So that's why we ask that you do it each and every time. And if you're an iTunes user, do us a favor and go out there on iTunes, find the podcast and give us a 5-star review. That helps us get noticed and featured in the iTunes store so more folks can find out about the podcast. And I think we got one more coming right up.
Yeah.
One more code.
Yep. So this code is from Skin2K. And the code is, again, same rules apply as before. If you could let us know, that'd be awesome. So it is K7Q7Q Y9PT6 CMJVF KF744 PVTGZ. So, gotta make sure I try to pronounce them out good enough. So that is again for Quantum Break Windows 10. Obviously, if you take the first one, don't take the second one. Again,
Yes.
obviously. Thanks, Mr. Obvious.
Not cool.
So,
yeah. And again, that is Windows 10.
Yeah.
Not Xbox, not Windows 8, not Mac.
Yeah, so some people keep it like I've been running Revlo like on our channel for like the last couple months or whatever, and people keep collecting points. I'm like, what's these points for? Just keep collecting them because eventually you'll be able to change them in for things. Like I've seen it to where, if you don't want, for 900 points. So, Gunny Chief just checked his points. He has, 906 points. Say at 1,000 points, you could trade them in and say, you don't want this person on the show this week. So you could kick me off for the week, for 1,000 points. Now, I'm not saying that I would use my own 1,000 points to kick myself off to give me a week off, but, it's different things. But also you can do for giveaways. Now, we read these codes off because these are from the community. We don't want to do that. But if I go and buy an Elite controller or something like that, like I'm going to say you have to be in our Twitch stream and you have to use your Revlo points. So I'll do a giveaway and one ticket will be 100 points. And you could buy no more than 10 tickets. So you would have to have 1,000 points, and you could spend all 1,000 points for 10 tickets for the drawing for an Elite controller. That's an example of what Revlo is. It's kind of just a easy way to do things like that. But we can set our own goals and constantly have certain things, and you can gamble with them. I think it's gamble 100. No, I lost 100 points right there. So, but yeah, that's what they're for. We don't have any perks or anything out there yet, but it'd be good to have Rob or Mark email me some things that they think would be fun little perks to do and how much the points would be, so that I can put them in the system, and then you can have fun with them. So, like, for 20,000 points, you're a guest. You want to be a guest host, or for 1,000 points, you can pick a topic you want us to talk about. Or, those are just examples. But that's all.
Cool.
So I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, everybody who's out here, thank you very much. the show should be posted probably either later tonight or tomorrow, depending on how quick Rob will do it. And Mark will put it up on YouTube and all that fun stuff. So he can't say that I forgot. I'm just telling him he has to do it now. So, like he always does. He does it always fine. So. But, all right. We'll be back next week. Hopefully all three of us together again.
Yes.
So, but, all right. I'm Brun BJ Swick 33. Everybody, thank you for coming out and joining us.
This is Rob, also known as Presar. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Good night.